I want to introduce you to what certainly is not the typical American family. What you'll quickly realize is their unusual situation is providing incredible joys and blessings. Come with me to meet the Kays family. Nancy and Joe Kays are like most parents. They love their children and do whatever they can to help them succeed and be happy. But this isn't your average American family. They're raising 19 kids.
Our family's big. We have 19 children, and we have 3 birth children, and we have 16 children adopted internationally. And our kids range in age from 13 to 40. So we still are going to meet the teacher night, and we have 12 grandchildren.
And we're still climbing into the bleachers for soccer games.
No, we're still doing those things. We have kids who are from 4 different countries, from India, Korea, Hong Kong, and Bulgaria. We have kids who are born with disabilities. We have kids that are all different backgrounds, but we're a family.
Now here's the challenging question. Give me their names and ages in chronological order if you can.
I can't. Yes, you can.
I don't do it in that order. I do it in the age that they joined our family.
Okay.
But it's Becky, Greg, Andy, Barbara, Lisa, Katie, Mike, Matt, Mark, Tom, Kira, Leanne, Kristen, Josh, Sarah, Alex, Brian, Zachary, and Christian.
Great.
Ages will be a little harder. It's very difficult when I have to fill out a form when they want to know, because I have to stop and think for a second the year. I'm okay with the birth date, it's just the year, because we have several kids born in the same year, and I have to sort that out.
Well, that was a pretty impressive display of memory and knowledge.
I remember the order they joined the family, because each time it's a really important occasion, so I remember that.
Now, how did you get started adopting internationally?
Well, originally, we had 3 birth children, and we were looking to adopt in Cincinnati.
You just wanted a larger family.
We just wanted a larger family, and because we had 3 birth children, that wasn't possible. And we had never adopted. We wanted to adopt a baby. We weren't as comfortable jumping out with kids with disabilities or older kids, and it just wasn't possible. So we'd gotten so many things in the mail about sponsoring children from other countries, and we started looking into whether it was possible to adopt from other countries. And so the first child we adopted was a little girl from Korea who was 6 months old when she came home, and we thought we were adopting a healthy infant.
Healthy infant, yeah.
But it turned out that she had cerebral palsy, and I like to think that we would have eventually started adopting kids with disabilities if it didn't just happen, but I can't be 100% sure.
God has a way of nudging us, doesn't he?
Absolutely, absolutely. And so when we first found out, we were really concerned, and can we handle this? Can we do this? Will we be good at this? How will it impact our other children? And
will she be the be-all and end-all? We'll spend all our time taking care of her and ignoring everybody else.
And we were really worried about it. Went over and over with this. What are we, how are we going to handle this? And finally, Joe said, "Were we okay on Friday morning?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Then we're still okay. Nothing has changed." And so then we just started saying, okay, what can we do to help her?
Nancy and Joe saw the progress their daughter Barbara had made and discovered they had the desire to help other children with special needs.
Then we decided Barbara was making so much progress. We liked seeing the change and we thought, we're kind of good at this. And we just wanted to see other kids have that opportunity. There's so much potential in a child, and if you can bring it out, it's a great feeling.
The Kays continue to increase the size of their family, adopting older children with a wide range of disabilities and special challenges.
We have 3 children with cerebral palsy now, in varying degrees of involvement. We have 2 children with spina bifida. We have one daughter has a hearing impairment. We adopted a daughter who is severely burned from India, and she's had multiple surgeries at Shriners Hospital. We have a daughter who had polio, is in a wheelchair, and she's post-polio. She's had a lot of surgeries. Daughter who had spinal tuberculosis, which is you can get tuberculosis any place in your body, but in the bone, it's very devastating. Mm-hmm. And she's
it disintegrates into like sand.
Yeah, just eats up the vertebrae, and she had a lot of surgeries to place has rods in her back and some real extensive surgeries, but she can do anything. She does very, very well. We have a son who was born without arms and does everything with his feet that you could possibly do with your hands. He can type about 35 words a minute. We have a son who's born with a deformity in his hands. We have kids with some other learning issues, kids who have had some pretty tough backgrounds as far as with past abuse, just tough neglect and so on. So,
what has been your biggest challenge with all of your children?
Remembering their birthdays.
no. No.
My challenge.
I think
That says a lot.
The hardest kids are the kids that have a hard time being in a family, that they have this, a family is a really complicated thing. The dynamics in a family are really complicated, and kids who have never lived in a family have a really hard time. You have to be able to trust, you have to be able to be, I mean, kids kind of separate, they do this in birth families too. Certain kids click better than other kids, but maybe a year later they might be a little closer with another kid in the family, but usually there's certain ones who just seem to have similar interests. But kids who have a really hard time with trust, that's the hardest
They
piece.
never bond to anybody.
It's the bonding piece, the emotional impact. That's much harder than any physical challenge you could come up with.
When we come back, I'll talk with Nancy and Joe about their child-rearing philosophy and learn some secrets of their success in raising a large family.
Whether you're a student needing answers, a parent needing help, or a concerned citizen wanting to make a difference, Life Issues Institute has the resources you need to put your values into action. Life Issues Institute is an international educational organization committed to protecting innocent human life. Life Issues Institute knows what it takes. That's why millions throughout the world turn here for help. Life Issues Institute has authored more pro-life publications than any other entity in the world, and its materials are printed in over 30 languages. Radio broadcasts, newsletters, and a website filled to the brim with the answers you're looking for are just a click away. Go to facinglife.tv and click on the link to Life Issues Institute to find out more about how you can change the heart of a nation.
What are the guiding philosophies or rules that guide you as parents with these children?
One is we strive to make them as independent as possible and make sure they have an interest that keeps them as independent as possible.
You have to find something that kids do well as they head into adolescence. You've got to have something. In some kids, it's really a search. You know, I mean, whether it's with sports, whether it's just that they know a lot about music, whether they know a lot about cars, if they have an interest, something that they're into. The bottom line is that they're happy and as independent as possible.
So you want them to be self-reliant?
Mm-hmm. And we always tell them you're to be taxpayers, not tax recipients, you know, and that we expect them to have a job and vocational training, and all of our kids, we found some niche for them.
Now, as parents of 19 children, I would think you'd need a sense of humor.
Absolutely.
Give me some of those more humorous parent moments or family moments that you remember.
One I can remember very distinctly was we came home one day and there was a big magic marker mark on a tablecloth.
All the way down.
All the way down a tablecloth.
We said it's important to tell the truth. You need to be honest. That's a big value in life. You have to tell the truth.
I said, Becky, did you do this? No, Dad. Greg, did you do this? No, Dad. And we went right on down the line and we got the mark. And I said, Mark, did you do this? And he said, no, Dad. And he looked to his left and there was nobody there. He said, we need more kids.
Ran out of people to blame.
Because he was the last one. We need more.
The Kays are often asked how they're able to take care of so many kids without outside support.
The thing most people ask us is the economical piece. You know, how can you possibly afford this? Because we don't receive and never received any type of
Government aid.
benefits or aid for any of the kids because they're all international adoptions. But we kind of divide up the work. Joe does all of the grocery shopping, and people get out of his way in the store because he has coupons on top of coupons. He could have written the book on coupons. And when our kids were younger, you know, and they would limit to one per customer, he'd take a string of kids and they would each have the coupon and the exact change and go right through the line, and they were buying
all customers.
They would buy 3 exactly the same things, and you know, and just go on through. And I don't know what food costs, and Joe doesn't know what clothing costs or other things. We kind of divide those things up.
And I enjoy grocery shopping, and I hate going to malls.
Yeah, so we kind of divide those things up. But I think your kids have more, or at least our kids have more of a respect for what things cost. They know you plan, they know you have to be careful, you have to think about if you need it or not. But what I hope we're also giving them is just, on the other side of the coin, is a respect for all people. That's really, really important to us. I don't believe our kids see the disability as much in people. I think it's just normal to them that people do things in different ways, and I've heard them say it, so I know I'm not just dreaming it. But to me, if you can be comfortable with all kinds of people of varying abilities, varying races, I think we've given our kids the biggest gift we could give them.
Coming up next, I'll introduce you to a program that's helped thousands of families with their international adoptions, and meet the physician who founded it.
Thank you for inviting us into your home. Each week we feature real people who deal with real-life issues head-on. Some of their experiences are uplifting, while others will break your heart. But in the end, the message is clear. Those who follow biblical principles on the issues of life are blessed. Become a partner with us in providing a positive, life-affirming message to help change the way the next generation values innocent human life. Please consider a generous gift to help offset the costs of producing this important quality programming. You can donate on our secure website at facinglife.tv or by calling the phone number on your screen during normal business hours. Together, we can make a real difference for life.
Dr. Mary Stadd is founder of the International Adoption Center at Cincinnati Children's Hospital Medical Center. It's one of only a dozen comprehensive centers in the United States that specializes in supporting internationally adopted children and their families.
We're really there to help educate families about international adoption issues before they've adopted their child. We're there to help them with their referral when they get their referral, to look over the referral, look at what kind of medical issues, what kind of problems that child might have, and help them with that decision to make sure that they're informed, and also prepare them for travel, because families that internationally adopt often typically get to travel abroad to bring home their child. So we make sure that they have all the vaccines they need and can safely travel. And then also we have just a contact, a lifeline in a sense, to me while they're abroad. So if they have any kind of questions or concerns while they're abroad, they can call me. And that's 24/7. And I get calls every week from all over the world about minor issues to major issues. Also, after they bring their child home, we want to be sure that that child gets off to a great start, that their immunizations are up to date, that they're screened for infectious diseases and other medical problems, that nutritionally they're, get good advice. And then we just added to our program some behavioral services to help families with learning how to parent that child that's often lived in an institution, not had a lot of stimulation. And it's a little different parenting a child who's internationally adopted than a child that has been with you since birth.
Along with being a physician, Dr. Stadd is the mother of 3 children who were adopted internationally. Nancy Kays describes her as the smartest mom you'll ever meet. It was Dr. Stadd's own family experience in adopting that inspired her to start the center to help others.
It was really out of the experience I had with my middle one, Emily, who's 15 now. Track runner, active as can be, but we didn't really know that that's how it was going to be for her when we adopted her. She had a serious heart condition early on that seemed even more serious than we thought, and we really needed help in helping to make our decision about adopting her when we were abroad, and that's how I came to the decision of making an international adoption center here at Children's.
What have you found most rewarding working through this process in this field?
I have the best job in the world. I mean, this is professionally so rewarding because we're learning more and more about how to better care for these kids when they come home, what their issues are, what programs we can institute so that they can do better. And then personally, you know, it's like the best group of families to ever work with. I mean, they are so happy bringing home this child that they've been waiting for forever, and the kids, you know, get their family, and you know, it's great. So I couldn't have a better job.
Now, speaking as a mom, what have you found most rewarding about the process as a parent?
My kids have changed my life. I mean, they've changed me from being a workaholic infectious disease doctor that loves to write papers and do research, which I still love to do, to a more balanced person. They've helped me just to grow as a person. I mean, the challenges my kids have had have helped me to grow and to learn more about myself and how to help other kids. And so, they're just great. They're great kids.
To understand the satisfaction raising children with special needs brings to the Case family, you only need to meet Matt Case. Matt was adopted from Korea at age 2. Born with cerebral palsy, Matt holds down 2 jobs, including one as a courier at Children's Hospital.
That smile, you know, says everything. Everybody knows Matt, everybody loves Matt, and you know, he's just an awesome, I want to say kid, but he's a young man now, you know, and he's just a wonderful person in our hospital community, but in our Cincinnati community as well.
Matt can't speak,
But he can talk.
but you always know what he wants. He has a communication device mounted on his wheelchair, but he just communicates.
How are you? I'm fine.
And Matt knows somebody everywhere you go. I take Matt shopping, somebody will know Matt there. I take Matt driving down the street, somebody will wave at Matt.
Mark Case, adopted at age 4 from Hong Kong, was born without arms. He works at La Rosa's Pizza call center, sending online orders to local restaurants.
He can open up the little straws on the drink boxes. You can open that up and put it in.
Brings the milk gallon out of the refrigerator and puts it on the counter.
He can lift with his toe, stand on one foot, and with his feet hook into that gallon of milk, take it out of the refrigerator and transfer it over to the counter.
Zach Case was 11 when he came to the Case family from Bulgaria. He spoke very little English and had not received much education. Now, at 16, he's an honor student, soccer player, and developing his ability to draw. Was it hard to make that transition into school and a family and an English-speaking society?
It was actually a very difficult transition. I mean, especially when you have to learn a whole nother language and the culture changes, you know. It's a difficult task, but eventually, I work hard. I'm still struggling a little bit, but I feel like I'm really getting there.
That child is a piece of my soul. I can't imagine not having that child in our family. And I think the greatest blessing is just each child is who they are. They bring something to our family.
And to each other.
And to each other. And it's also, to me, a success story when our daughter chose to adopt children with disabilities also.
But Becky told us she wanted a small family, only 6.
Next, we'll find out what advice our experts have for those who may be interested in international adoption and where to go for resources.
Whether you're a student needing answers, a parent needing help, or a concerned citizen wanting to make a difference, Life Issues Institute has the resources you need to put your values into action. Life Issues Institute is an international educational organization committed to protecting innocent human life. Life Issues Institute knows what it takes. That's why millions throughout the world turn here for help. Life Issues Institute has authored more pro-life publications than any other entity in the world, and its materials are printed in over 30 languages. Radio broadcasts, newsletters, and a website filled to the brim with the answers you're looking for are just a click away. Go to facinglife.tv and click on the link to Life Issues Institute to find out more about how you can change the heart of a nation.
So, what's your message to those who are watching the program today and considering adoption?
Don't be afraid of that older child or the child with disabilities. Their value is absolutely as high as their lives are just as important as anyone else's. And once again, I think if you would consider adopting a child with special needs or an older child, you have an opportunity that you would never have, is to bring out the best in that person and to give them a life that has meaning, and to really realize that their life has as much value as yours does.
How about those who may be intimidated by the challenges ahead?
Well, I certainly never push anyone to do it, but I think you take things one day at a time. You know, when Matt was little, I used to think, what in the world will we do to find a job for him? Because he can't speak, you know, he can't walk that well, he's so limited, he can only use one hand. And I would think about it all the time, and I think, what in the world are we going to do for a job for him when he's an adult? And then I would just, it's that one day at a time piece, because things keep becoming obvious to you about different roads to go down. And
God doesn't speak to you directly, but he kind of puts guideposts along the way somewhere.
Gets the point across.
Sometimes Joe would say to me, I just wish we could wake up in the morning and it would be written on the mirror. You know, do you think if we left out a marker, you know, we would have a way of, you know, of knowing what's right. But all you can do is the best you can do. And you try, and I really think it becomes obvious and the doors open.
I'd like them to know not to go it alone, to use the resources that are here in the community, use the resources that are just available even beyond our community. You shouldn't go it alone. There are things that you need to know about, things that you need to be aware of. You need to make sure that your child gets properly screened and gets cared for, you know, after they come home.
Do you foresee this second generation of children that have been adopted to also participate in the adoption process?
They do. I think once you've been touched by adoption, then you realize families can be made lots of different ways, and it doesn't seem like it's just something other people do. I mean, in our community, I mean, we have hundreds of kids coming home every year, and I think if you ask most people, they'll know someone that has adopted, either domestically or internationally. And so it's become a more commonplace for that to happen. And because of that, then, you know, more people are going to do it. I mean, my kids, you know, they're like, oh yeah, we're going to adopt, you know, because they've seen how it's made a difference in their lives and how it's made a difference in, you know, all the other lives that they've seen because of what I do.
I appreciate what they did for me, and I will still continue to do whatever I need to do to be successful, and I thank them, and I thank God for really blessing me with this family.
If you or someone you know is considering adoption, I hope today's program will broaden your horizon of possibilities. Sometimes God's greatest blessings are wrapped in unexpected packages. Thanks for watching. The Kays family is an inspiration to all of us. Their decision to provide a home for children from across the world has brought them great joy and will have a positive impact for generations to come. I'd like to offer you the opportunity to register for a very special free gift, a set of note cards with a photo mosaic of Korean children, created by Tom Kays, son of Joe and Nancy. Just go to facinglife.tv. You can also get more information about the International Adoption Center. While there, find out how to get a copy of today's program on DVD.